call this one dinner. So, there's this young lady who works at a nearby grocery store that I frequent, and I've known her a while. Back when she was at a different company. Anywho, every time I see her, I try to make her laugh and, see what's going on and try to learn a little bit more of what kind of makes her tick. So tonight, she wasn't my cashier, but she was one register over, and we talked for a minute or two. And I said, look, I know this. I said, do you like Italian food? She says, I love Italian food. I said, me too. I said, I found this wonderful Italian restaurant in Farmington. And being witty and humorous, I said, seriously, guy like you and a girl like me, what do you think? Let's just have dinner. And she goes, I've told you before, I don't date. So here we are. She's not married. She's not engaged. She's not a lesbian. She's not bi. She doesn't date guys. Or date, period, I suppose. And apparently it's because, guys her age are just stupid and infantile and all that. Well, I'm not going to argue that fact. But, then I took it a step further. And I said, look, don't consider it a date. I can pick you up. We could meet at said location at said time. I just think it would be really nice, me being completely single, and you, sounds like you're completely single too. It would just be nice to sit down and, break bread and have a meal with someone. I mean, doesn't it kind of suck to eat every meal alone? I mean, it's nice to sit down opposite someone and have a meal and just chat and carry on, right? Don't look at it as a date. It's just getting together for a bite to eat and, chalk that dinner off as, well, I wasn't alone and I had a nice time. You don't have to classify it as a date. But, I just look at how people are so damaged now. Just so incredibly damaged. That as I reread this book about hope, people don't have any, man. I tongue-in-cheekly say that Americans aren't happy until they're unhappy or they got something to piss, moan, bitch, and complain about. I got to tell you, I think I might be right about that. I mean, we're always, not accentuating the positive, but we're accentuating and perpetuating the negative. The glass is always half empty. Well, I see it as half full. I see it as half empty. How can I make you see it as half full? You can't. Well, that's a paradox. We got a problem. We're at a standstill, or what we call an impasse, right? It's very frustrating to be a funny guy, a witty guy, a highly intelligent guy, an experienced guy, a mature guy in a lot of ways, extremely hypersensitive, responsible, and just to meet these people every day, And, I go after women within my league, as they say, I don't like tootsie fritzy bitches. They drive me up the wall. Never did. I grew up in upper middle class, and those, I broke an L, I'm going shopping, and I need a latte. And no, I don't like those kind of ladies. I like a lady I can get down and dirty with, in many ways. But down and dirty and taking on life struggles, us against the world, not you against me, right? Or some kind of 21st century battle of the sexes. No, just some sister who's cool, man, But finding someone like that is like the 30th day of February in the needle in the haystack. It's just so ridiculous how women's viewpoint is on life. They're just so negative. just down on shit. You know? I mean, where's the optimism? It's all pessimism. You know? I mean, I'm sorry that you're damaged. I'm sorry that boys and men have let you down in life. That's clear. It probably started, with your father or the absence of your father, if I researched you. But it's troubling to me how perpetual the negative is, and I'm seeing it more and more with guys too, I mean, activity breeds activity, attitude is altitude. And this is, of course, the Professor Slade cliche festival, right? But it's so true, and I don't consider myself a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I consider myself an educated man of the human character. And, its pluses and minuses, its weaknesses and its strengths. And all I'm seeing now is just people who really tongue-in-cheekly have given up. They're more wanting a handout than a hand up, They're much more satisfied wallowing in their pain and misery than focusing on, their happiness and hope of the future. It's just very negative. And I can't be around that, with men or women. I can't allow myself to buy into the negativity. I think most comedians don't. I think most scholars don't. I think mature, traveled people don't. So it's frustrating for me to think I'm going to find somebody who is altruistic, somebody who's an optimist. My ex-wife is a good example. She's a nut like me, but optimistic like me. She doesn't want to focus on what was lost. Let's focus on what it was, what we've gained, the positives. Right. I just am not seeing that with people anymore, and it's taxing, it's draining. It's like I try to come in and bring some levity and humor and lighten the mood, and it just seems like there's social vampires everywhere that just want to suck all the air out of the room. Great. Or you give somebody your time and your love and your energy, and then they, wind up using that against you. I personally don't know what the hell keeps me going every day. I just get up and it's like that groundhog effect, like I told you. It's like the Groundhog Day meets the Matrix. If you can combine the two, if you can picture the storyline from all that. It really is. It's just bizarre, and it's like no matter what I say, what I do, what I wear, how I act, boom, 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 boom. It's just this, It's like people just don't have any soul anymore, and they're just negative. And how are you today? Okay. Piss, bitch, moan, whine, complain. Mm-hmm. So, I don't have a lot of friends on Facebook anymore. I don't have any followers or following on either of my Instagrams, because it seems like, you're a business front. Oh, you don't, you got some crazy agenda. It's just not about anything real. I think we've used this technology to just graduate ourselves into being fictitious nose breathers. It's just absurd how people interact now and what their expectations are and their attention spans and how thin their skin is. And, the first sign of adversity or difficulty, gone. I'm sure you're all wondering, how the fuck were you married 28 years? Well, it wasn't that hard if you have someone on the same page or at least in the same chapter of the same book or someone who's on your proverbial team. But if you're, fighting the laws of nature to try to make a relationship work, the shit's going to fail. So, I don't know. I'm having trouble sleeping. I'm overthinking. Playing autocorrect here, but I really think it's going to be a cold day in hell, and I'm going to find some genuine human being to spend my life with. Because everybody out there is just, they're gone, man. They're fucking gone. And I'm sure, some of you who may hear this, whether it's one person or 6,000, you know what I mean. We're kind of like a Venus flytrap. We open up for a few seconds and we close once we've got whatever it is that we want. I don't know what's worse, being, living my life independently or just seeing the human condition. Because I'm not really seeing much out there on a day-to-day basis that's like, I want to be a part of that. That's nice. That's fun. That's a healthy way of living and thinking. Yeah. I don't know, folks. Have a good night. Love you all.